Could it be? But me, your man, Louie T, welcome to this day after divisional round victory over the Detroit Lions 45-31. Commanders have punched their ticket to the NFC Championship game. We go into the chip. 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 That don't ever get old to say, man. And every time I say it, a huge grin comes over my face without me even trying to do it. Like subconsciously, I just start smiling like the Grinch. What a ride it's been. And we ain't done. I mean, we ain't done, man. We just getting started. 2 games away, 2 down, 2 to go to make this thing a reality. And I told y'all a long time ago, I've been saying this for years. And, when you in it and, you can't see it and it's so dark and the light at the end of the tunnel is so faint, it's hard for you to really grasp, what it is we're accomplishing right now. But I've been telling y'all for years, it's going to be that much sweeter when we finally get there, right? And I've been telling y'all that, and I've been telling y'all that, and I've been telling y'all that. And I said to y'all, we just gotta hold on. It's coming. Our time is coming because we deserve it. And we was gonna get our blessings, man. Don't block your blessings. We removed the one guy that was blocking our blessings as fans. We removed him from the equation. And once that happened, the blessings just start flowing in, right? One after another. And now here we are. So let's talk about this game against Detroit and the reaction to it. We're now 2 days removed. Normally we do this the day after, but being that we played on a Saturday, I wanted to let it breathe. And now we come back, we talk about it here on Monday, kind of get the schedule back in full, force. But I will say this, it wasn't all great on Saturday night, obviously. We did lose Sam Cosmi for the season to a torn ACL. It's an unfortunate loss, one that that stings. And you heard DQ talk about it a little bit, and how it affected him and his teammates. But this is a brotherhood, and they're gonna pick each other up. And DQ talked about this on his press conference the day after that. Trent Scott stepped in. I thought he was phenomenal, just like the rest of the offensive line. I thought, just watching the game back, I thought this might have been Brandon Coleman's best game. Now, I got to go, watch the All-22s, and we'll do that at some point this week. But, I can only recall, 1 or 2 pressures off that side where he was engaged. I thought he blocked his ass off in that game. And, the pockets that Jaden was able to throw from. I mean, there were times where he was standing back there. And I said this to y'all last week. I said, you can say what you want about the run blocking. I can't defend them. They haven't done it well since the bye week. I said, but what you're not going to do is act like this group ain't pass blocking their ass off because they've been doing that all season. So that's what we're not going to do. And the pockets Jaden had to throw from against Detroit and this pressure, they were blitzing. It ain't like they were just rushing 4, right? Tampa Bay the week before, they were blitzing. The Lions were blitzing. That's what they do. And Jaden was standing back there 4 and 5 seconds at a time. And then when he didn't have that kind of time, he was still surgical because he's still one of them ones. Critical situations like the 4th down that he hit to Terry where he had to get rid of it. The 4th down to Ertz where he had to get rid of it. When there was pressure. He was spectacular. But that offensive line deserves so much credit, and Trent Scott deserves a ton of credit for stepping in. And remember, Cosmi, when you go in silent count, the guard is responsible for telling the center when to snap the ball. Trent Scott hadn't been practicing that all week. He hadn't been practicing that all week. He hadn't been practicing that at all this season. That man ain't played guard since camp. Now, he might be on the scout team running some stuff, but he ain't been in here working with Tyler Biadasz on, hey, this is what we do, this is how we get the count. He had to come in there and he had to be the one to tell Tyler Biadasz snap the ball. And then snap his head around and block. And he kept it awfully quiet, man. Quiet inside. It's a brotherhood, man. And Sam Cosmi said, hey, y'all do it for me. Y'all finish this for me. He kept saying, we doing this for somebody, bigger than ourselves. Well, we going to finish this off. We got even more motivation. If we didn't already have enough, people keep telling us what we can't do every week. We already ain't have enough motivation being 9.5-point underdogs. If we already ain't have enough motivation, yeah, we underdogs again. We should be going into Philly. But if we ain't already have enough motivation to want to do it, we got even more now for Sam. So that was the one, bit of rough news that came out of there. OZ also injured his groin. Hopefully it's nothing serious because he was in the game pretty late and then he got injured late and didn't return. So hopefully he's okay because we need all hands on deck, obviously. And the last time we played Philadelphia, he was the star of the show. Dyami Brown continues to surge, to play the kind of football that when Scott Turner, banged the table for him and got them to draft him out of North Carolina, this is what they envisioned. Took a long time to get here. And, you keep hearing people like Terry. Terry was at his press conference after the game. He spoke about Dyami for about 2.5, 3 minutes. Terry said, man, I'm getting choked up. I didn't think I would get choked up talking about Dyami. But his growth, his maturation, and DQ even expounded upon that, talked about how when they first got here, what the work habits were, what he was, what they viewed him as. Remember, they wouldn't throw him the ball on nothing but screens and hitches when the season first started. That was it. He wasn't good for nothing but a wide receiver screen. Maybe the occasional jet sweep or reverse. Now, they got Dyami out here running routes, running comebacks, deep over routes. Scissor concept with Terry. Second week in a row. Terry caught the scissor last week when he slid down in Tampa, and this week Dyami caught the scissor route. So proud of Dyami, man. So happy for him. His team is growing right before our very eyes. What's crazy is this team has done so many, tremendous things this season, and yet we're still seeing growth and maturation. We'll talk more about the defensive line because I specifically asked for a hero. I said, I need one of y'all to step up, man. I don't really care who it is. If all of y'all decide to step up, that'd be even better. But I just need one of y'all to step up and say, hey, I'm going to help us get to where we're trying to go. Because we knew Goff wasn't running nowhere. And so that's why it was important that you got to get him off of his spot. We saw the results of that. They stepped up, man. And the guy leading the charge was Dorrance Armstrong. 2 sacks, the forced fumble. We'll talk more about that on Commanders Nightly News. But I can't say enough about the job that the defensive line did in this game. And look, we still got issues stopping the run. Those aren't going away. You know what I mean? And if we don't beat Philadelphia, we know why. We know exactly why we didn't win the game. If we, I can't say this any clearer, and I'm going to say it 50 million more times during the course of this week because you all know it's true. It's the same thing we said the second time we played them. It's the same thing we said the first time we played them. If you can stop or at least slow down Saquon Barkley, you beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Period. End of discussion. Easier said than done. Many have tried, most have failed, but we've done it, and we can do it again. But Jahmyr Gibbs ripped us a new one in the game, and for the life of me, I don't know why they stopped giving it to him. Like I said, I love that Montgomery was back because that was going to take Jahmyr Gibbs off the field, and boy, did it ever. I mean, look, they still had him out there for the bulk of the snaps, and he still got way more touches than Montgomery. But even the 6 or 7 carries Montgomery got, those could have been Jahmyr Gibbs touches, and that could have been Jahmyr Gibbs rushing for 160 yards and having 2 more catches on the day. Like, anytime he's not in, anytime he wasn't touching it, that's a win for us. It's the equivalent of the Eagles putting Kenneth Gainwell in. Anytime it ain't Saquon, I feel good, right? I feel really good. You know what I'm saying? So obviously that's something we gotta continue to deal with. But if you're gonna offset all of that with turnovers, what are we talking about? You know? I mean, and I couldn't have imagined that the turnovers were gonna rain down in the fashion that they did, but they did. And we'll talk more about that obviously on Commanders Nightly News, but I'll tell you this much. The pick six from Quan Martin, and people were, oh, there was a dirty hit. Nah, there wasn't no dirty hit on Jared Goff. That was football. You don't want to get hit? Sit down. Get out the way. Don't try to get over there and make no tackle. Get roughed up. You know what was the dirty hit? Jaden Daniels 2 steps out of bounds and Kirby Joseph pushing him and almost pushing him into the little camera contraption over there down by the goal line. He did that twice in the game. Twice. That's dirty. They ain't call it. And then hitting him after he done handed the ball off and getting jacked up. And they did throw the flag on that one. That's dirty. But in any event, we play physical football over here. Physical brand. And everybody's trying to hurt our quarterback. Everybody want to chime in and have a little 2 cents. So, oh, if he gonna run, he better get out. He gonna get hurt. Oh, okay. Yeah, everybody else quarterback seems to be the one taking that trip to the blue tent. God don't like ugly. The football gods don't like it either. Our dude he's such a good dude, man. Like I brought this up the other day, him praying with Terrion Arnold over Amik Robertson when he got hurt and when he was down. Like, he's just a good dude. How can you not like Jaden Daniels? Like, even if you don't want to like him. It's the same thing I said about Jalen Hurts. Like, I don't have one malicious bone in my body for Jalen Hurts, man. He's just a good dude. Like, he stay out the way. He don't bother nobody. He just a good dude, man. If he played for any other team than one of the other 3 teams in the division, I would be rooting like hell for Jalen Hurts because he's a good dude. And it's the same way with Jaden Daniels. He's just a good dude. Like, how you not root for him other than he played for a team that you don't like? When you got that kind of dude as your leader, guys like Bobby Wagner and Terry McLaurin, all God-fearing dudes, like it's just they're blessings that are waiting on top of you. Blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings that's waiting on you. And when you look at what that game was from a turnover standpoint, I'm amazed at how we were able to generate so many turnovers. That dude, Mike Sainristil, that boy Frozone, he cold, man. It's chilly outside. You better go get your coat, a hat, and a scarf. Maybe even some gloves. It's cold outside, man. Marshawn Lattimore turned in his best game as a Commander. Kept it awfully quiet on that side of the field. I told you, they didn't really have anybody we had to worry about, which is why they didn't flip sides with him. They just kept him on that left side of the offense, right side of the defense, and just kept him on that side and kept Frozone on the other side because their main guy is in the slot in Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he did damage. He did work, right? But for the most part, Jameson Williams is the only guy outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown that, was going to be able to hurt you. And we kept him pretty much under wraps outside of the 61-yard reverse for the touchdown. We kept him pretty quiet. He had the one ball where he got behind us and Goff overshot him, but tried to hit him on the post. Mikey deleted that, right? Alt, Control, Delete. Thanks. He tried to throw a pass. Mikey, Alt, Control, Delete. Thanks. I'll take it from here. So kept him in check outside of the one play. Just can't speak enough about the way this team showed resolve and showed the mental toughness and the ability to stare adversity in the face and not flinch and not blink. And that's who we've been practically all season. Think about it this way. I just need y'all to understand, like, this is who we are. This ain't no fluke. This ain't luck. Outside of when Jaden Daniels got hurt, think about it this way. outside of when he got hurt, that was the only time he didn't look like himself, was that 3-game stretch where he was banged up and he didn't get the practice time. And we weren't in sync and we weren't cohesive because he wasn't right. Because as he goes, we go. It's really simple. Ain't nobody trying to fake no funk over here and act like, oh man, this is a great team we have over here, because it ain't. Don't fool yourself into thinking it is, because it ain't. This is an incomplete roster. There are some guys that are here that are dogs that are going to be a part of what we do moving forward, that are massive parts of what we do. And everybody's done their part. But make no mistake about it, of the final 4 teams left in the playoffs, we are the least talented, and it's not close. But the great equalizer is having a great quarterback. And right now, I don't think it's up for debate. We got the quarterback playing the best. He is not the best quarterback in the NFL, but he's already top 5, dead or alive. But playing the best, there's no one playing the quarterback position better in the playoffs than Jayden Daniels. There's nobody in the playoffs, offense, defense, special teams, that's playing better football than Jayden Daniels right now in the playoffs. So when you got that guy who is at the most impactful position, touching the football on every snap, when you got that guy, which is why I don't like the little trick play we tried to run with Marcus Mariota on the 4th down. And so I figured out what they were going to do. B-Rob was the one who screwed that one up. Marcus was going to fake the quarterback sneak and then pitch it to Jayden. So that was going to be the play. And B-Rob was supposed to be his lead blocker on that play. He was supposed to go out there and be the kick-out block. And he thought it was a tush push. So they got their signals crossed. You just burned a damn good trick play. But it is what it is. Nobody's playing better than 5. So when you look at what we've been able to do this season, outside of that 3-game stretch where he missed some uncharacteristic throws against the Steelers, we would have put up 40 on the Steelers and won that game comfortably if Jayden was right. You know what I'm saying? The Dallas game, we got a Dallas problem. We've already talked about that. We got a Dallas issue. That's the one team right now that I'm like, we got to figure them out, because it didn't look good either game against Dallas, right? And they got the team speed defensively to cause problems. We got to be more effective, and maybe that comes with just having more talent. Maybe we just need to add more talent to really destroy Dallas the way that we need to. And then, obviously the first Eagles game was his worst game of the season. Worst game of the season. He wasn't right. Short week. We didn't get a chance to really game plan and prepare for Philadelphia. He didn't get a chance to go through all of the medical stuff that he needed to try to get his body right, because he was already hurting. It was a tough stretch there. Those 3 games, Philly, Steelers, Philly, and Dallas. Outside of those 3 games, this is who he's been all year. Cool, calm, collected in the biggest moments. He's been a cold-blooded assassin. And that 15-play, 75-yard, 8-minute drive, when the Lions cut the score to 31-28. That was a thing of beauty. And right now, that was the biggest drive of the season. And Jayden Daniels didn't flinch. He didn't flinch. He didn't blink. And neither did the rest of his teammates. And in that situation, in that environment, because the Lions at that moment, they knew that was their chance. Their fans knew that was their chance. They were back in the game. They scratched, they clawed, they got back in the game. They were right where they needed to be. And that's when they expected the rookie quarterback to fold. That's when they expected him to show that he's a rookie. Now this moment is so big. The stage is so big. The lights are so bright. What is he going to do? And he put on a performance for the ages like he always does. He did it again. Got us in the end zone. And that was pretty much all she wrote. We broke their spirit with that one. Broke their spirit. Then they tried to get cute, and Mikey picked them off again. And what we do, take it down. We could have scored 50 in this game. Let that sink in. We could have scored 50. We had 45 points with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We could have scored 50. We had the ball again on a possession where we were content with kicking a field goal that we ultimately missed. If we wanted another touchdown, we could have went and got another touchdown. We could have scored 50 with ease in a playoff game on the road against the #1 seed. Talk to me. Nice. Talk to me nicely. It's levels to this shit. And ain't nobody doing it at a higher level than us right now. That's the type of time we on. And one of the biggest takeaways from the game on Saturday, God, this was a sight for sore eyes. And I owe an apology, and I will give my apology, because I did not think these eyes would witness a complete game from the offense, with the run game being a part of it, with the running backs being a part of it. But that's what we got. The run game was alive and well. Like Jaden Daniels' legs, while he ran, I told y'all this, and I asked y'all, I was like, did y'all feel like he ran it 16 times? It didn't feel like he ran the ball 16 times. It didn't. But he ran the ball 16 times in that game. I'm like, really? 16? But there were a lot of little, 2-yard, 4-yard runs in there. He had a couple of nice hits, but there were enough of the forgettable runs that you forget he ran 16 times. It didn't feel like he ran that many times, but he did. But it was about B-Rob. It was about Eck. It was about Jeremy McNichols. It was about the running backs being a massive part of the run game. And that's, if we get that balance, we can't be stopped. We can't be stopped. If we get that type of balance, pass and run. Because we already know what Jaden gonna do, throwing the football. We already know what he's up to. You could put him down for 230 plus yards, right? Somewhere in that neighborhood. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's gonna be somewhere in that neighborhood. And if need be, if his legs have to be a part of the process, then he'll do that too. But to see B-Rob average over 5 yards a pop, 15 carries, 81 yards. To see Austin Eckler jumping in, and he had the biggest run of the game, right? When we looked to put him away after the interception was thrown by Jameson Williams, that first carry to Eck let him know, hey, y'all dead, man. Like, I don't know if you think this is the Houston Texans where you're going to turn it over 5 times and still have a chance at the end, but y'all are dead, bro. We killers over here. And we got a cold-blooded assassin at quarterback. You're dead. And if you can't stop our run, and I kept saying this during the watch party, 4th rush defense, my ass. That first run by Eck, I knew it was done. Bust off that big run, got Kirby Joseph running in circles like he chasing his tail. Oh, these boys are over. Put it in the end zone and let's end this thing. What a sight for sore eyes. If we can start scoring inside the one, and granted, I understand the Eagles are a different animal. You get down inside the red zone, it's hard to run inside against them, right? Same thing with Tampa Bay, right? With Vita Vea. The Lions, their guy, Aleem McNeil, he wasn't there. So they didn't have that guy that would present that type of problem for us up front. But the Eagles do. And I don't expect it to look as easy as it did against Detroit. But guess what? You can run against Philadelphia. I've been saying that to y'all. And Kyron Williams proved it again. Kyron Williams had 100 yards rushing against Philadelphia. Rico Dowdle had 100 yards rushing against Philadelphia. Josh Jacobs had 15 carries, 80-some-odd yards, averaging over 5 a pop against Philadelphia. You can run the ball against the Philadelphia Eagles. And if we can get what we got from our run game, and I thought we ran it pretty effectively the first time we played Philadelphia. That was B-Rob first game back. I thought he looked really good that night. If we can run the ball the way we ran it against Detroit, Ain't nobody beating us. I don't care if it's Buffalo, I don't care if it's Kansas City, and it damn sure won't be Philadelphia. That's the key to unlocking our offense. Like, Jaden gonna be Jaden. At this point, it's expected. Anything less would be uncivilized. When you got one of them ones, there's an expectation that's set. If you are able to then throw in the run game like we did early in the season, that's how you put up 40. When the run game is clicking, that's how you get Arizona. That's how you get Cleveland. That's how you get Carolina. And I know we didn't score 40 against Cleveland. We could have. Took our quarterback out at the end of the third quarter. He didn't even play the fourth quarter. We knew they couldn't score. That's how you get Tennessee. When you run the ball, because Jaden's going to be Jaden. Ain't no stopping that. But when we can run the ball, that's how we score. You might get 40 on your head if we running the ball. You might get 40 put on your skull. You might not see the punter. You might not see Tressway. That was the biggest takeaway of that game against Detroit was, wow, we created turnovers on defense, which we hadn't done that all season. It was a perfect time for ball to be life. And we ain't done too. I can see us generating a couple of turnovers against Philadelphia. They due for some turnovers. They ain't put the ball on the carpet. Jalen Hurts tried to fumble against the Rams, got away with a couple of them. He do, right? He should have thrown a pick. The corner was right there. Great position, and he just couldn't get it. Let him do that against Mikey. That's a pick. He do. It's coming. But the biggest takeaway from that game, as we react a couple of days after, is we were able to run the football. And if we could do that, because we can't count on turnovers, right? Like, I didn't even ask for turnovers the last 2 weeks, and I'm not asking for them against Philadelphia because I don't anticipate them coming. That was a pleasant surprise. But what I can ask for is a duplication of that run game that we got against Detroit. I never thought I would see it again the rest of the season. That was a sight for sore eyes. And just think about all the successful games we've had offensively and think about how we were able to run the ball in those games. We just had a 40 burger on the road and could have been 50 if we wanted it to be. Let that sink in. We could have scored 50 if we wanted to. We was content with running out clock. If we wanted another touchdown, we could have made it be. They couldn't stop us on offense. We wanted another touchdown. We could have scored it. We were more concerned with bleeding clock. We did the right thing. And I need Zane Gonzalez to make that field goal, but it's no here nor there. He made all the rest of them when we had to have them. He made them, right? That one early in the game from deep too. It had to be 47, 48, something along those lines. When they were up 7-0 and we needed some points to slow the game down, wrestle away some momentum, that was a big kick. Yeah, he kicked one out of bounds. Yeah, he missed the field goal late. Zane has been good for us. Zane has been good for us. Made all of his extra points in the game. We could have scored 50. Let that sink in. If we wanted to, could have scored 50. They only stopped us twice. And once we stopped ourselves on fourth down. They really didn't stop us. They only stopped us that one possession after halftime when we had a chance. That's the only thing that I regret in the game is we had a chance to put those boys away. That was the knockout shot. Those boys were reeling. They were stumbling on the ropes. And all we had to do was square them up one time and drop them, and it would have been over. And that was the possession after halftime, and we didn't do it. We left the door slightly ajar. And that's a championship caliber team over there. And, of course, they responded, and they cut it to 3 with a touchdown. So we had to restore order and justice on a 15-play, 75-yard, 8-minute march. Damn, I love this team. Damn, I love this team. We just scratching the surface, but this is what I keep telling y'all. Don't assume that, oh, look, we gonna be good for a long time because we got 5. But don't assume you're just getting back here next year. Take advantage of the opportunity that's being presented in front of you right now. We got a chance to do that on Sunday at 3 o'clock against the Philadelphia Eagles. We've been road warriors all season long. Anytime Jaden's been faced with an obstacle that he didn't clear the first time and you give him a second opportunity, he don't miss. Generally, he just need one shot because he's a cold-blooded assassin. Generally, he just need one shot. But if somehow he misses that first shot and you stupid enough to give him another shot, oh, you dead. Just like I always tell you, if you give him the ball at the end of the game with a chance to win, go ahead and grab the shovel, pick a spot, and start digging. Because you dead. Dead, I tell you. Well, Eagles got him the first time at the link. He know the environment now. Full week to prepare. He going back to the scene of the crime. And this time, they going to be the ones outlined in chalk, not us. They don't know who they messing with. They asked for this. They asked for this. A wise woman once told me. A wise woman once told me not to sell work. 17.5, same color t-shirt. Now I'm bullshitting. A wise woman once told me, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. Some people might have said, be careful what you wish for. She said to me, be careful what you ask for. Your tongue is powerful, but careful what you ask for. You just might get it. They've been asking for this. I swear, I tried to tell them, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. But they begged and they pleaded. So now you're going to get it. And it's going to be that much more gratifying when we end a season. You know what probably brought the most joy to my heart after celebrating with the fam and celebrating with y'all it was seeing the dejected look of those Lion fans sitting in the stands in disbelief. Watching Lions fans leave the stadium saying SOL, same old Lions. Knowing that we were responsible for that. We did it once. We did it twice. We could do it thrice. So we know what it is now. All NFC East championship game. They got the better team, but we got the better coaching staff. We got the better belief. And most importantly, we got the better quarterback. And when you put together the brotherhood, the belief, and the quarterback, the damn thing stopping this team from doing what nobody thought we could do. So I ask you this one final time. Why not us? I've been asking you that all year. I've been doing that since week 3 when Jaden showed me he was a star. I didn't know he was a superstar. I knew he was a star that night. A star was born that night. When he threw the Hail Mary, a superstar was born. And from week 3 on, why not us? Why not us? I don't see any reason why not. That's going to do it for me. Your man, Louie T. Day after reaction to the Commanders going on the road against the #1 seed and putting up a 40 burger. Could have been 50 if we wanted it to. We cold-blooded over here. Cold-blooded. We cold-blooded over here, man. I love it though. I'll see you guys for the Commanders Nightly News. Until then, y'all have a good one. We go into the chip. We go into the chip. We go into the chip. We go into the chip.